All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. So it's a race against time. You can see back here, leaves are starting to turn, starting to get chilly. 2 weeks ago, I just did a video. It was 90-some degrees. We're up in the attic, and now there's frost on the ground. So SK Insulation has a few finishing touches here, but building inspector checked it out. Said they did an awesome job. So we're gonna walk in here real quick and see how everything's turning out. So this is the garage area, and you can see that we did fully insulated garage because we're heating it. You know, it's going to have all the in-floor heat. We have a boiler video coming up here real soon. Have a specific brand that we're working with, so we'll reveal that in some videos here coming up in the future. But coming down through this hallway into the great room, we are soundproofing everything. This is all interior walls. We even contemplated doing the ceilings, but for right now we're not, because they said we can blow them in later. But there's nothing worse than hearing activities going on from one room to another, especially when you're trying to sleep or something. So we're going down through into the kitchen area, and you could see they got all this great room done. It's 27 feet high to that peak to the floor. So if you notice all the green tape around there, Keisha really come through on a clutch moment. She's been super bummed that she can't be out here helping because, you know, Tommy and stuff like that. So last night I stayed in with Tommy, and she worked out here till 9:30, 10 o'clock, taping all these windows. And, you know, we have painted black windows. So when your drywall guy says you should tape your windows, more the merrier, he's telling you that for a reason. So it's either spend the time to tape them or spend the time to clean them when they're done. You're going to get drywall mud on stuff. So right now I'm going to throw a harness on, and I got to go up and finish the high ones. Keisha did everything low. Like I said, very, very good job. I did this one up here, that one there. So I got to do the high ones. She's not a fan of heights. And to be honest, I don't want her up there anyways. It would be horrifying if something happened to her. So I'm going to get strapped up here and get up there and see what we can get done. All right, I'm going to take you along for a ride to do one here. So got to get up here first. I always like to tackle the hardest ones first. Then, you know, after you get the hard stuff done, you're on the home stretch. Some people are different. Okay. So, gonna attach down low here, just for a safety precaution. I've said it before, sometimes I think these harnesses are more dangerous than good, but don't really want to take a chance up this high. So to that peak over there, like I was saying before, it's 27 feet down. So I didn't notice any of this until I got up here. I don't know what they're gonna do about this gap. Sometimes they'll double stack drywall in there, and then when they return it, or we might have to put a piece of trim around these windows up here. But the fastest way we found to do this, tried several different ways. They're pretty good windows. Building inspector was pretty impressed with the U factor and stuff like that from Provia. But we taped the whole perimeter, leave an overhang, and then put the plastic touching the overhang, and then trim it up. This frog tape is super, super sticky. So doesn't have to be super pretty, as long as it covers the windows so you don't get white drywall mud on black windows. Pretty cool view from up here. Not that we'll ever enjoy it. So you got a 1/2 inch of drywall returning in there. So even there's a little bit of gap, that's all gonna get covered. And then I talked to the drywall guy, they return it in there and then they put this edge on, it's called cutaway, and it's got a flap on it. Once it's in place, then you score it with a utility knife and it peels right out and gives you a nice clean edge. So what I've been doing is just stretching this out and then cutting it with a pair of scissors. And this is a smaller roll. I did buy 72 inch for the bigger windows, so I'm just trying to use this stuff up right now. I think this is 48 inch. So once we open it, you obviously can't return it. And you unpeel it all. This being a triangle window, I believe this covers perfectly. So all I do is just go up and touch the underneath of this tape. Like so. And then you fold the crease so you don't have extra hanging out. Because it doesn't matter if it's on the inside. Gotta give yourself enough room, so just use your best judgment, then touch the underneath of this tape, just like this. And then the bottom. Fold the bottom in. You just tuck it all in. And then you don't roll the tape over like that just yet. Leave that out, leave that out. And then you just roll the tape over. And voila, that's one. I mean, it's not the prettiest, but all we're trying to do is keep drywall mud off this window. So there's a little corner here. Since it's an angle here, had a hard time catching it. So I'll just do this like so. That's perfect. So there's one. I got this is the two highest points in the house, and this is I don't feel comfortable up here, I'll be honest. So that's why I like to start with the things that got my nerves rattled, since it's fresh in the day, instead of doing it at the end of the day when you're tired and not focused. So we're gonna move on down and do this one closer to the floor. All right, so you can see those ones are done, and now we're down probably a good 8 to 10 feet. So I feel very much more comfortable. I was able to take 2 planks down, and now I'm kind of like surrounded, and I'm still, you know, tied off. So now I feel comfortable to mask this one off. This is a square window, so we're gonna do the same thing. I am trying to use up the 48 inch plastic sheathing. This does take a bigger one, so I'm probably gonna do a seam on it, which is fine. It's better than throwing it away. But so I'm gonna go up on here, and then all this, I paid extra for this. They called it a seal package. I don't know if you could see, there's like foam all everywhere. So whenever the drywall goes in, it's real soft. And then they push right up against it, and it keeps from air blowing in. So that's like the biggest thing that people don't realize. If you don't have sealed up doors and windows in a drafty house, that's what costs a lot to heat, is a drafty house. All right, so we got to get that corner cut there. Then I'll just overlap that seam there. So it's not a big deal that came up short, because then I'll just make sure this one's more square. And like we said, the goal is to keep drywall mud off of the black windows. We tried to use the blue masking tape, and it did not stick. We even got a rag, wiped the windows down, because there is some residual dust and stuff in here. You know, this house has been under construction for several months now, so you are going to get dust. So we thought that was the problem, and then Keisha spent all this time cleaning the windows, seals and stuff like that, and it still come off. So definitely invest in this frog tape. It's like double the price, but it could be free if it don't work. What's the point of using it? Okay, so there we got the perimeter done. So since this one is not the full distance, I'm gonna lap it like a shingle. So I'll do the bottom row first, then we'll lap the top, and then I may run a bead of tape through. You can see I did it over there. There's Max. You're on camera, buddy. Everybody's been waiting for you. I'll be down in a minute. Over in the toolbox, there is a torch. And I put some stuff in that burn barrel down there. Why don't you go light that? Since we're lapping this doesn't have to be super critical, because it's definitely going to be big enough. So we'll just tap it there and tap it there. All right, so we got that piece up here, and then this is just a filler piece. So we're only gonna open this up one level. That's all it needs. We're gonna lap it. As cheap as this stuff is, it's probably just easier to use the bigger stuff, so you don't have to put a seam, but I guess this is a how-to if you buy the wrong size. So grab this. Always start with the corners so it's square. Pull it across. Then that's slapped like a shingle. So what I'll do is just put a piece of tape, hold that so it don't blow up. So if anything falls down off there, it'll go over top, not underneath. There you have it. This is what it looks like from down on the floor. You could see, you know, it didn't turn out too bad. And these are ones that Keisha did. So she did a pretty good job. To be honest, I'd have to say she's doing a better job than me, but there's nothing wrong with that. I love when someone is better than me at something, then I don't have to worry about doing it again. All right, guys, so there you go. Spend a little bit of extra time. I'm going to save you a lot of aggravation down the road. Anytime you're doing drywall, painting, whatever, take the time, mask things off. Everybody, you know, there's a famous saying, there's never time to do it right, but there's always time to do it over. And I have come in behind a painter before and a drywall guy without masking windows off. It is a nightmare. So it's way less time to do this than it is to clean it all off the windows. Then you take a chance of damaging it. So like always, we appreciate you guys watching. In the next videos, you're going to see some drywall and stuff being hung. So we're moving along pretty good on this project. We appreciate all the support. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, please consider subscribing. Helps the channel grow, and so we can keep putting out content for you guys to learn from our mistakes, and hopefully someone can help me with some future opinions or suggestions on making my life easier. Like always, take care.